You know that cup of coffee you're probably holding right now? Well, it's about to get a whole lot more interesting. We all use it to drag ourselves into the land of the living, but the story of how it actually pulls off that magic trick every morning, it's all about some really cool brain chemistry. So let's dive in.
Come on, you've totally been there, right? One minute you're staring blankly at a screen, the next the fog just lifts and bam, you can actually form a coherent thought. It feels magical, but what's really happening is a super clever deception going on right inside your head. So what's the secret?
Okay, so to figure out how coffee works its magic, first we have to meet the main character in this whole drama, the little molecule that's responsible for making you feel tired in the first place. And that molecule is called adenosine. Think of it like a tiny sleep timer for your brain. Seriously, from the second you wake up, your brain starts churning this stuff out. And as more and more of it builds up, it starts telling your brain cells, hey, slow it down, making you feel sleepier and sleepier. And you know, the whole cycle is actually beautifully simple. When you first wake up, your adenosine levels are at rock bottom. But as you go about your day, you're working, you're thinking, you're just living your life, those levels just keep climbing nice and steady. By the time you're ready for bed, there's so much of it floating around that your brain gets a really clear signal. It's time to power down and get some rest. All right, so if adenosine is our built-in sleep signal, where the heck does coffee come in? Well, this is where our villain, or hero, depending on the time of day, makes its grand entrance. Meet caffeine, the master imposter. And here is the absolute key to this whole thing. On a molecular level, caffeine is a brilliant mimic. It looks so similar to adenosine, it's almost a perfect copy. It's like a counterfeit key that's been made to fit the exact same lock. But here's the twist. While the real key, adenosine, is meant to slow everything down, our imposter, caffeine, is designed to do the complete opposite. So with this perfect disguise, caffeine is all set to pull off one of the greatest heists on your brain. And get this, it's not about creating new energy out of thin air. Nope, it's all about staging a hostile takeover. This is so important to get. That sleepy adenosine, it's still there. Your body is still getting tired, just like it's supposed to. All caffeine does is throw a blindfold on your brain so it can't see all the sleepy signals that are piling up. It's a temporary block, not a permanent fix for being tired. Okay, so here's how the heist goes down. Imagine your brain cells have all these little parking spots, or receptors, that are perfectly shaped for adenosine. When adenosine pulls into a spot, you feel tired. But once you drink that coffee, caffeine molecules flood the area and, because they're the same shape, they swoop in and steal all the best parking spots. With caffeine blocking the entrance, adenosine is left driving around with nowhere to park, and its "you're getting sleepy" message never gets delivered. But wait, that's not the whole story. Feeling awake is one thing, but what about that amazing, super focused, good mood feeling you get? Well, that's kind of like a bonus prize you get from the heist. You see, adenosine is kind of a downer. It doesn't just make you sleepy. It also puts the brakes on some of your brain's other chemicals. So by blocking adenosine, caffeine is basically taking the foot off the brake for your brain's natural feel-good stuff, like dopamine. And suddenly, those chemicals are free to do their thing, which makes you feel great. And that is what this bonus feels like. It's not just that you're not tired. It's that sharp focus, that better mood, that feeling that you can conquer the world, or at least your inbox. You're not just awake. You're awake and you're feeling good. That is the dopamine bonus in action. But we all know how this story ends, right? That caffeine-fueled high is amazing while it lasts, but it's not forever. The heist eventually has to end, and well, there's a price to pay. Because remember, while caffeine was busy playing bodyguard and blocking all those receptors, your body never stopped making adenosine. Not for 1 second. So it's been building up this whole time, creating this massive traffic jam of sleepy molecules, just waiting for the roadblocks to be cleared. So just think about your day. You have that coffee at 8 a.m. By 10 a.m., you're flying high, totally in the zone. But then, as the afternoon hits, those caffeine molecules start to break down and leave their posts. One by one, those parking spots start to open back up. And the moment those receptors are free, that giant crowd of adenosine that's been waiting patiently all day, it doesn't trickle in, it rushes in all at once like a tidal wave. And that, my friends, is the caffeine crash. It's not a gentle slide into tiredness, it's like hitting a brick wall of sleepy. Which really leaves us with one big question to think about. That amazing energy boost you get from coffee, is it real energy? Or is it more like taking out a high-interest loan on your future alertness? It's a fantastic trick for sure, but it's a debt that always, always has to be repaid. Something to chew on during your next coffee break.